Hey, welcome back to the channel where we normalize calling ourselves out, but with kindness and maybe a little side eye. Today's topic, a juicy one, a triggering one, a healing one. Let's talk about something most of us have been guilty of at least once. Do you love them or just the idea of them? Because sometimes it is not them you're holding on to. It is the storyline you wrote about them in your head. Let's dive in. What does it mean to love the idea of someone? All right, let's define it. Loving the idea of someone means you're in love with their potential. You're obsessed with what they could be, not what they actually are. You're emotionally attached to a fantasy version of them that exists only in your head. It is the equivalent of dating their LinkedIn profile, their curated Instagram feed, or that one deep conversation from 2021 that you keep replaying like a podcast. You're not loving them. You're loving the role they play in your internal movie. Signs you're in love with the idea. Let's go there. Here are some red flags that you might be more into the idea of someone than the person themselves. You're always imagining who they could be. You catch yourself saying, once they heal, once they get their life together, once they finally realize how good I am for them. Stop. You're not dating their future. You're dating this version right now. The messy, confused, inconsistent version. You ignore their actual behavior. They keep disappointing you, but you focus on the few moments they didn't. You cling to potential like it's proof instead of asking, what are they showing me consistently? You feel more in love when they are not around. Oof. You miss them more when they are silent than when they are present. Why? Because silence lets your imagination take over. And in your imagination, they are perfect. You have to constantly defend them to your friends. Your people are concerned. They are side-eyeing this relationship like it's an unpaid internship. And you're always explaining, you don't know them like I do. They are just going through something. They've been hurt before. Girl, you're their PR team, not their partner. You're afraid to be honest about how they make you feel. Deep down, you know they don't treat you right, but you minimize it. You don't want to ruin the illusion. You would rather protect the dream than confront the reality. Why do we do this? Why are we out here falling for potential like it's on sale? We want to be chosen. We think if we just love them enough, they will become the version we need. It is the build a partner fantasy. But people don't change because you love them. They change because they choose to. We are chasing the emotional highs. Loving the idea of someone feels intense. It is dramatic. It is full of what ifs and maybe one days. But intensity isn't intimacy. Romantic chaos isn't proof of deep connection. It is often proof of emotional confusion. We are scared to be alone. Sometimes we hold on because we are more afraid of the silence than the suffering. So we cling to the dream because the truth will force us to start over. The danger of loving an illusion. Here is the problem with loving the idea of someone. You end up emotionally investing in someone who doesn't exist. Not really. And because of that, you make excuse for bad behavior. You overfunction to keep the relationship going. You ignore your own needs and boundaries. You stay longer than you should, hoping one day they will become the version you imagined. It is like being in a relationship with a ghost. There is just enough presence to keep you hanging on, but not enough to build something real. When you finally see them clearly, here comes the moment. And if you've been through this, you know what I'm talking about. Where the rose-colored glasses crack and suddenly you see them, like really see them, without the hope, without the fantasy, without the projection. And you're like, wait, this is what I've been crying over? This is what I've been writing paragraphs to at 2 a.m. It is humbling, but it is freeing. Because when the illusion shatters, so does the hold it had on you. How to know if it's real or just an idea? Let's make it practical. Ask yourself these 5 questions. Do I love them or who I think they could be someday? Do I feel safe and valued when I'm with them, or mostly anxious and uncertain? Are they showing up consistently, or am I filling in the blanks with fantasy? Do they know the real me, or just the version I perform to keep them? Would I still want this relationship if I stayed exactly like this forever? If those answers hurt, that's your clarity. How to let go of the idea. So, what now? If you realize you've been in love with the idea of someone, here's how to begin detaching. Grieve the fantasy. Let yourself mourn the version of them that never existed. That grief is real and necessary. Stop trying to fix them. You're not their rehab, their therapist, or their emotional life coach. Let go of the project. Refocus on you. Ask, what do I actually need in love? What kind of relationship nourishes me? Fall in love with your own potential, not theirs. Surround yourself with clarity. Talk to the friends who keep it real. Journal. Pray. Sit with the truth until it becomes peace. Forgive yourself for not seeing it sooner, for holding on too long. You loved with hope. That's not weakness. That's your heart showing. So to wrap this up, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You didn't fail for falling in love with a fantasy. You were just hopeful, open-hearted, maybe a little naive. That's human. But now you get to choose clarity over confusion, reality over fantasy, real love over the illusion of it. Let go of the character you created and leave room for someone who doesn't just fit your dream, but shows up in your life for real. If this hits, drop a comment. I'm sending you love, healing, and the courage to let go of what was never truly yours. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.